Hi, I am Huda. I am leading the M&A strategy team of Deloitte Sweden. I have 15 years experience in banking, strategy consulting, and M&A. My background is a mixed career between large corporates and entrepreneurial journey. And I have been advisor on over 150 transactions, from very large ones to startups across the US, Europe, and Nordics, mainly in the tech and IT industry, with a focus on financial services. With me today here, Jonas. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello Huda. It's great to be here on air with you. My name is Jonas Ingelström, and I'm an entrepreneur in the tech business here in Stockholm. Most recently, I worked as a CEO of Signsec, taking that company from one customer and one employee when I started to an IPO up to Nasdaq First North. I left the company operationally this summer and is no longer involved directly. Of course, I'm still part owner here. Up to date, Signsec has done 2 acquisitions and living a plan of buy and build kind of strategy. If that's me, you're kind of acting on the micro level, or in reality, Huda, you have the micro view here. You've been through many more transactions than I have. 2020 has been a very special year. I mean, due to the pandemic and stuff, and things aren't over yet. How is this impacting the M&A situation in your view?
Well, with the COVID situation, we have clearly seen the M&A deal value dropping globally in 2020 versus 2019, due obviously to the economic uncertainty, to the lack of liquidity, credit tightening, etc. However, in this kind of circumstances, the drop is in general steeper with large deals, while smaller companies can seek M&A solutions for growth or solvency. So it can be very appealing for startups who can afford it to consider this option and go for it with an opportunistic mindset. But it is important to have a solid strategy and a great rationale behind the transaction in order to be successful. So talking about successful M&A transactions, Jonas, you have been through this journey. Why did you choose M&A as a growth path for the company you are leading? And what would you say were the key benefits of growing inorganically?
Yeah, I mean, why did we choose M&A? I mean, I think it's the same reason as for most companies. I mean, we want to take market shares, we want to grow quicker, increase revenue, expand internationally. A lot of those kind of benefits ultimately create value for the company and for the owners. I also think that Signsec being in this space of very quick market growth. I mean, Signsec is active in identity verification, KYC space. It's growing at 30% per year. Also, like an international context, I mean, Signsec has been targeting Europe from start, and a business model that scales. I mean, Signsec's business model is to provide a platform connecting a lot of different solutions or vendors, and that is then very well suited for an M&A strategy. So I guess all of those ends up to be the reasoning why we chose that path. And I mean, Huda, you've been working in many transactions across several industries, not only the fintech. I mean, what is your impression about the overall benefits in merging startups?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jonas, merging startups can be a great way to scale, reach faster growth and profitability, acquire new competences, or diversify your business, or even like increase market shares depending on the industry and maturity of your industry. However, this is only true if the startup had initially a solid plan and made a successful acquisition journey, and including integration, and also having like a great rationale behind this acquisition. So things can be extremely different if the approach is not right. So startups should really make sure that they have their shareholders, their teams ready for this journey before embarking into it. And the transaction can be actually time consuming and can sometimes be unpredictable. So if the startup doesn't have the team dedicated or doesn't have the right support or advisors, it can pull the team's focus from the day-to-day operations, which can have a dramatic effects on the company. So Jonas, what did you find was the most challenging while going through this M&A journey?
Yeah, I mean, just before going into that question, I think what you're talking about here is very, very important, especially for startups entering an M&A. And I think it's quite often overlooked. And to be successful with the M&A, you need to have a good and solid infrastructure. And I mean, with that, I mean experienced team that have done M&A before. You need to have good access to funding and also like a solid and I mean financial structure. And I mean, for us at ScienceTech, this was one of the reasons why we went for the IPO route, because being listed gives you a great, I mean, foundation for, I mean, basically all of this. I mean, it's easier to attract a good team of people. You get better access to money, and you get this kind of, you need to get your financial situation in a very good setting, if you say like that. So then going back to your question, I mean, what is the biggest challenge? I think that in the M&A space, the challenge is to find the right company to buy. And in fintech, companies look a lot the same, and it's very hard to find who is the right suited, who is the right company to buy. And I think doing that from the inside, as ScienceTech does, makes us much better to pick the winner. So that's, I think, it's a challenge, and also, I mean, the solution for it. But that's for us. I mean, what challenges are you seeing on the greater picture here?
Well, on a high level, M&A for startups can come with expensive costs. So while it may be true that this could eventually help in the long run, in the short term, it will certainly decrease the cash on hand and may negatively impact the financial picture. So in addition to the upfront expenses associated with the M&A, there may be other financial issues to keep in mind. So as an example, when the transaction timeline is longer than anticipated, also the startup can face complexities during the integration process, as an example. And all of that is associated with the cost. So the financial impact on organization can also be significant and sometimes can cause like irreparable damages. So just to summarize on our topic, there are multiple pros to pursuing M&A as a growth strategy, and among them reaching scale, speed up the growth, expanding footprint, diversification, and acquiring competences and resources. However, it can come with a high cost in terms of financial, operational, and cultural challenges. So yeah, any last words, Jonas, before we finish this session?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, both the pros and the cons. I mean, I think you need to take the M&A as a track and really prepare for it to make it successful. After all, it's about creating value for the company and for the owners. And how do you do that best? And for ScienceTech, we did the IPO. We prepared ourselves, and then from the inside, we're doing an M&As on top of or side by side with the kind of the normal business. And I think that's been a very good step. So thank you for the discussion, Huda, and it's been great to discuss these topics.
Likewise, thank you, Jonas.